Good afternoon and welcome to my channel where we talk about how to improve your health, how to give you hope for the future, and how to develop happiness in who you are as a person. Let's go on this journey together. Hi, I'm Teresa. Let me start out by saying I lost 50 pounds in 5 months. How did you do that? And why would you do that? Well, I was a very sick woman, mentally, physically, socially. Hello, puppy. Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good, thank you.
And I have decided to share with you and to bring you along on my journey to health, hope, and happiness. Yes, I'm out here. It's a beautiful day. It's in the afternoon. The sun is shining and the sky is partly cloudy but gorgeous. And just look at this view. Welcome to this beautiful planet of ours, and let's get on this journey together. In February of this year, I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Prior to that, I've been diagnosed with high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and 5 years ago, I had a massive stroke. At that time, I was told that, I would not ever walk, talk, or function the same for the rest of my life. To make a long story short, I was on my feet and walked out of a rehab facility in 2 weeks after that massive stroke. And you say, how did I do that? Well, when I'm told that I'm not going to be able to do something, you've just triggered me. You've triggered the plant-eating ninja. Hell yeah, I was going to do something. I was going to walk out of there. I cannot stand to feel caged or have somebody to wipe my ass or to have to wear a bib every day if I tried to put food in my mouth. This was not the life I was going to live. And just with sure will and determination, I walked out of there, like I said. Fast forward to February of this year, and I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. So during this 5+ year period after the stroke, I basically continued to live the same life I was leading before the stroke. Yeah, I'm not very smart. But basically all I was told was given a bunch of different medications, and that's about it. No one talked to me about what caused the stroke other than the high blood pressure and the big one, smoking. Let's just say I've been smoking since I was 16 years old and had continued and still continue to smoke even after the stroke. Yes, I'm either a really big addict or I'm just not very smart. Probably both. But when I got that diagnosis this year of type 2 diabetes and was told that I'm going to have to check my blood sugar numerous times a day, every day, and take medication for the rest of my life. And not only that, that it eventually lead to having to inject insulin. That it was not going to ever get better, that it would only get worse, And the medications that they were giving me might actually help me prolong the time it would take me to get to the state of having to take insulin every day, or how many times a day, whatever. And as a military veteran, Air Force veteran to be precise, and I switched over to the VA clinic, the Veterans Hospital, because after the stroke, took every penny I had to pay for the hospital bills, rehab bills, and the constant follow-up doctor visits. And then I said, okay, this is a lot. So when I got the diagnosis of diabetes, like I said, it started me on metformin. They sent me to a nutritionist at the VA hospital who trained me about I have to eat all the time to keep my blood sugar steady, that my diet, I should, start adding more fruits and vegetables to my diet, eat chicken, eggs, low-fat dairy, whatever. So I started doing that. I was like, I'm not going to I got to do everything I can, because I kept hearing about how diabetes, you lose your eyesight, you lose your limbs, you'll die, blah, blah. I started eating their diet, taking my medications, and I thought, well, I've grown vegetables in the past. I'm going to start growing a bigger garden so I have fresh veggies to eat every day. And so I was looking up some information about tomatoes. I ran across a YouTube channel called In My Gardener, and he was talking in this particular video I clicked on how he had lost a bunch of weight, and that he had high blood pressure, and he's really young, and what he had done to bring that blood pressure under control. Basically, he said he started eating a whole food plant-based diet and was answering questions on, well, what do you eat on a whole food plant-based diet? And he's like, you eat everything. You just learn to remove all animal products, beef, chicken, eggs, fish, and mainly dairy. And you create whatever. You can still eat things that you think about in your head, like cheese is not really cheese. You use nutritional yeast, which is a B12 fortified yeast product. It's not yeast like used to raise bread. It's a yeast that is healthy. Basically natural. It's still processed some, but basically a natural food. And I thought, yeah, but this still I don't really understand how you can eat what you're used to eating. Enchilada casserole, tacos. I mean, how do you eat tacos when you don't have any meat? And I thought, I just don't really understand what he's talking about. But it's very interesting because he does, looking at past videos, not that long ago, he was heavier. He was more, he talks about how he was caffeine dependent, didn't get much rest at night. And so I just typed in whole food plant-based diet. And boy, let me tell you, a new world was opened up to me. I was like obsessed. I just started reading and watching videos and what is this whole food plant-based diet? Let me tell you what I found. That not only is high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, stroke, and heart disease preventable, but also can be reversed simply by what we put in our mouths. So I watched, read, learn. I started thinking, I tried like sauteing vegetables and stuff without using oil. And I thought, I can't do this. You have to have oil to saute veggies. Well, not only was I wrong, but I was dead wrong. you could use water. And so I used water, and I sauteed my favorite veggies. The only veggies I think I really like to eat besides potato were sauteed onions and bell peppers. So what I learned as a basis of this diet, when I say diet, I use that term loosely because it's not like a short-term thing to lose weight or whatever. It's a new lifestyle, a new way of living. It's the real way that our bodies were designed and what we need to eat for optimal health. So I sauteed those onions and peppers. I thought, this tastes like shit. It does not, I can't eat this. I made some brown rice. I'm like, oh my God, this is the nastiest shit I ever put in my mouth. How am I going to follow a whole food, plant-based way of living? So I heard, I kept watching YouTube videos, see what people were eating. And I decided, well, maybe I'll try a smoothie. The first thing that I got into my system that didn't contain salt, oil, sugar, or animal products of any type and dairy was a smoothie. I put in a blender. I got some baby spinach. I filled it about a quarter full, like a handful of baby spinach. A few frozen bananas, very ripe frozen bananas. And sorry, this wind is strong today. I'm out at the lake walking. This is what I'm looking at. Yes, it's a beautiful day in this world we live in. And some strawberries, blended it all up. Took a little taste, and I thought, doesn't taste real good, but I think I can get this down. So my first week or two, or even longer, of this changing over to a whole food, plant-based way of living was smoothies. I didn't eat nothing, and my appetite was just like not there. I didn't have hunger for disgusting sauteed onions and peppers and water and brown rice. And that's about the only vegetables that I have ever eaten in my life, other than maybe some peas I would eat, and occasionally some boiled cabbage, and an occasional potato or french fries, I thought, why can't I eat french fries? They're made from potatoes. They talk about how a human can basically survive on potatoes alone. There's a reference out there from Dr. John McDougall about the movie The Martian, where Matt Damon basically does nothing but eat potatoes for a year. And actually, believe it or not, after more research, I have found the potatoes contain every single nutrient, protein, fat, cholesterol, vitamins, everything that our bodies could ever need to live off of. I don't know about you, but over the years, all I hear about is no. Everybody needs to eat protein. Cut out all carbs. Carbs are bad. Carbs make you fat. Carbs cause diabetes. I always scared to eat a potato. Thought that was a luxury item. But of course, when I did eat potatoes, they had a ton of butter, a ton of salt and pepper, and topped off with sour cream and cheese. Now, to me, that was heaven. To me, that was death. Not only do you need to eat whole foods, all plants, all veggies, legumes, beans, rice, fruits, veggies, and sometimes maybe if you're, depending on your health, an occasional nut. When I say occasional, when they talk about preventing and reversing heart disease, they say absolutely no nuts, because nuts, regardless of being a plant food, contain a lot of fat, as do avocados, which people seem to adore these days. Everything's about the avocado. So anyway, we'll talk more about that later. I'll get into more details, but just the start of this journey, all I know is once I started this way of eating, and yes, I didn't eat a whole lot for a little while. I would sometimes air pop some popcorn without salt or butter. I really couldn't eat it. And they cooked me some french fries. At least I felt better that I wasn't eating animal products. Even the frozen bag french fries got oil in them. So it wasn't the healthiest, but I had to figure out how to change my life to a whole food, plant-based way of living. And so I'm going to end this here. I don't want to overload you with information. I just hope I'm here to make you intrigued and tell you about what I have found out thus far on my journey. Until next time, peace.